Robert Christian Arroyos sat on the bottom bunk of his assigned room in the United Terra Republic ship Deliverance. It was a Pelican-class troop transport ship hailing from the Triton shipyards in the Sol system. Truly a magnificent ship, capable of transporting 250 orbital drop shock troopers, with the equipment, soldiers, and services to support such an endeavour. His bunkmates knew better than to really disturb the man during this time, however. Williams, an ODST-class sniper, knew how to deal with the 400-pound slab of emotional beefcake during this time of year. "Arroyos, sir?" He addressed the man from his top bunk. "I got some good contraband. I'll show if you spill." He then changed up his tune after a few minutes of silence from the large man. "Dude, brother, I'll sit with you for a long time. I know how you get on the anniversary of Thomas's death." Williams absolutely stealthily slinked down to the bottom bunk. Not a creak was heard from the metal bunks that command called beds. "Look, man, I get it. We all get it. Now, start telling. 645 people perished on this campaign, maybe more, if medical can't get them through. Yet you, look, man, your fat ass saved countless. So why do you start to spill about Captain Thomas again? We all love his stories. We pester you until you do so, right, men?" "Hoorah!" was the response from those that they shared a bunk with. "Here, Rob," Williams said quietly, passing him a whole bottle of hard liquor. "Proxima Berry Chambud, 15 years aged. It won't get a beast like you drunk, probably, but it should get you buzzed. If not, it's sweet. Better than any other liquor you'd get." Robert looked at Williams and was about to speak before he was cut off. "Ask me no questions, and I'll tell you no lies." With a grin, Williams poured out another of the same bottle. "This is for us non-heroes to enjoy." After a hard look from Robert, Williams spilled his beans. Alright, I'll tell. I'm not going to piss off the best medic we've ever had. Shots!" he called out. After everyone had a shot, in Robert's case a glug or three, Williams said, "Oh, that's good. Anyways, Rob, do you know how many people you saved? Even the brass know not to fuck with you during this time unless it's a combat situation. Granted, I get paid a pretty penny, but I got this past security because you simply saved so many. You've gained the informal title of Archangel of Life among the grunts. They see you, everyone fights harder. Everyone tries to make sure you've got the time to save someone, anyone. Doesn't matter who. They don't pray to God anymore, they pray that you reach them. Morale simply changes when the line sees you. They see their Archangel medic and they take bigger risks, knowing you've got their backs and can save them from the ferrymen. Hoorah! Was the praise given by those that shared the room with them. We snipers guard you in yours when you gather wounded from the front. Arroyos, Archangels is the informal title. Sometimes that's literally our orders. Weapons free, guard the angels. Hell, from what I can gather, the brass is thinking of giving out a special Medal of Honor or whatever for your frontline medics that saved 100 or more of us. By yourself you saved, what, 300 of us, sorry fucks? 355, came the quiet correction. Exactly, Williams replied. Now, tell us a story. Robert took multiple glugs from the bottle, leaving it nearly a quarter full. Okay, you win again, Williams. Give me a moment. Captain Thomas, leader of our platoon, had decided to retire after our current obligations were over. He met this cute astrophysicist some time back and they hit it off. Shore leave and drinks resulted in her being pregnant, so you know how it goes. He found something greater than the good fight, married her, and promised no more soldiering after his term was up. We had 2 more campaigns at Proxima, but that was that. They gained their independence, we were recalled, and he retired. Robert took another drink and wiped his eyes, not caring who saw him so vulnerable. His daughter's birthday coincided with his retirement, so everyone was there. I'd just been chewed out by the missus for tossing her baby some 30 feet in the air. I mean, look at these. Here, he flexed his massive hammer of an arm, the fabric of his triple large t-shirt, threatening to tear again. There's a reason why I can carry you sorry assholes back from the line 4 at a time, or bring a surgical suite to the line complete with power generation and artillery shielding. Hell, I've been used as a defensive line breaker. Mobile grenadiers struggling to keep up behind me, firing at will, while I carried a slab of shielded starship hull. Boy, did that earn me some shore leave. Hoorah! Was all the acknowledgement he needed. Anyways, Robert continued, taking a much smaller sip. I get little space princess to go back to the table with her presents, while I try to smooth up some pretty woman. Next thing I know, I hear a screech of tires and see Thomas moving to the bench with his daughter. I've never seen a man nor beast simply go so quickly. He grabs his little girl and shoves the car with one hand, just enough not to kill them both instantly. They still get run over and pinned. Thomas using his body to shield his girl from the tire grinding away the meat of his back. Robert drained the last of his bottle. A brand new one somehow being pushed into his hands. I see this whole thing, and then I act. Too slow for me to ever be happy with, but first to respond. So there's that. I bound to where they're pinned, and with more strength than I ever knew I had, fling that car off them both with a single grunt. Hysterical strength, they say I had. Hell, my hands dented the aluminium. I have it at my mum's as proof. Drinking another 3 glugs and wiping his eyes, he trudged on. Now, here I am, looking at an absolute mess. I don't know where one person begins or ends. There was so much blood. So much blood. As I'm trying to figure something out, Thomas gurgles out with one of his last breaths. Save my daughter. That's an order. With another 2 glugs in his system, Robert managed to keep speaking. The Marines in the bunks with them, listening, as they've never heard the tale before. I know Thomas saw me faltering, not knowing what to do, but with the orders of my captain, everything became clear again. I tuned out everything that didn't matter, assessed his little girl. There was a lot to be done, but orders are orders, and I needed to focus. Another sip went down the hurting man's throat. It was a godsend that the whole platoon was there. Jimmy, that son of a bitch Alco, God rest his soul, had the right potency of shine to clean the steak knives I had to perform combat surgery. Combat surgery on a 4-year-old with steak knives and piñata string. I had nothing to work with, but by the fucking powers that be, I saved her. It wasn't pretty, but she would live. Robert took another drink out of the bottle, leaving it half full. I don't know how he did it, but Thomas held on. He held on until I finished and the ambulances could be heard coming. Then he asked me, is she saved? Will she live? I could only tell him that she would, and his final words to me were, they were, good job, brother. I love you. Shit, man. That's... I have no words. Huge reply from the other side of the room. That's why you're still a combat medic after all this time, Tanaka replied. I admire the steel of your soul. Yeah, Robert replied. Anyways, it's nearly his little girl's birthday and I'm done being all mushy. So let's all send her a vid mail. I'm sure she could use one.